What's up everyone, it's Lo, Beauty Demon, and we are back to talk about internet BS. Today we are going to talk about a family vlogger channel that deleted all of their videos, ? But before we get into that, if you have not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I post, and don't send anybody that we talk about in this video any hate, negativity, nothing like that. These are just my thoughts and opinions based on what I am seeing play out on the internet. So if you have something to say about what we're talking about, just shoot it down in the comments below. That's what they are there for. And then before we officially jump into this, I did get a cute little haircut. So yeah, my inspiration was Sarah Michelle Gellar, season 2, season 3 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or Scream 2. She got her haircut for that movie. And I've always loved that haircut. And I just recently watched Scream 2. I went to the salon and I showed them a bunch of pictures of Sarah Michelle Gellar from that time period. And they kind of did like a mashup of the two. And I love it. I'm still getting used to styling and stuff. So yeah, I feel extra cute now because my hair is a little more like stuff happening. Anyway, all of that aside, let's jump into this family vlogger channel, the Saccone Jolys. So I have made a video about this. Well, not totally about this family vlogger channel, but just about the patriarch, Jonathan. This was a few months ago. Jonathan actually came out with a book. I have not read it, and it did not make my summer reading list, even though I said it was going to. Honestly, like, my interest is just kind of shot at this point. I have so many other things I'm reading. I did film a video sort of about them recently, and I wanted to do a follow-up, or at least maybe a little bit more of like a deeper dive, but I can't do that anymore because all their stuff is gone. This family vlogger channel kind of went under the radar for a while. They've been doing this for, I think, like 10 years, for a very long time, but they were riddled with problematic behavior. As with most family vloggers, of course, the children are the main revenue of the channel, and they are exploited in any possible way, whether it is from injuries to bad days, you name it. These kids' lives are just put on the internet and exploited for monetary, like AdSense, also in sponsored posts and things like that. So the video I made a while back was about Jonathan, who had written a book about their exploration into realizing that they themselves are non-binary. So, except the way that it came across in that video was, I didn't get to explore my gender identity when I was a kid, and now my child has decided that they are a girl instead of a boy, so we're just moving forward with that. Now, I have zero problem with anybody exploring who they are and going through any sort of transition to become the person that they are, whatever that transition looks like. In Jonathan's video discussing this, it just really came across that Jonathan regrets how, when they grew up, they had to just conform to male stereotypes when they wanted to do stereotypical female stuff like play with dolls and playing dresses and things like that. But wearing a dress and playing with dolls doesn't make you a woman or make you gay. It's just like, it's something that obviously they are still really stuck in these stereotypes, when it's like these things specifically are not what define the essence of being a woman.
You say that she needs to just stop that messing now, you know what I mean, cut your hair, go back to being a boy, pack on the uniform and just keep it on the inside. You know what I mean? And marry a woman and just live your whole life, you know what I mean, as a lie, because it's going to make other people happy. It's like, is that the message we really want to send out to people?
And they would ask their child, their daughter, Edie, are you a boy or a girl? This child is 6, 7 years old. Even if you don't put a camera in this kid's face, when mom or dad or, you know, any like parent ask a child something that they like obviously know what answer the parent wants, they're gonna say what the parent wants to hear because they know it's going to please the parent. So it's very difficult to me to know, like, is a child even being authentic with their parents, or are they just doing what they think is gonna make their parents happy? And so many people saw this and other things that the Saccone Jolys have done as exploiting their child and their child's transition for views and content and money. And it's sad because if your child is experiencing this, or really like anything, if your child is just experiencing growing up, give them some privacy. I mean, would Jonathan have liked it if they're having to conform to male stereotypes when they wanted to do other things was like constantly exploited? They do speak of traumatizing times when people would kind of like be negative towards the fact that they wanted to experience more feminine things. And would they have liked it if their parent was filming that and then posting it on the internet? Probably not. And it does kind of beg the question, what if your kid gets older and decides this is not for them? And you've gone and you've blasted it all over the internet, and these kids unfortunately cannot consent to that. I would hope as a parent you would want your child to feel safe and secure and supported as they are going through the journey of life. You learn so much about the world and about yourself as a kid, and it is great to be able to express yourself freely, especially when you have a supporting, loving family. You're learning how to express yourself. Your parents shouldn't be blasting it all over the internet. I also wonder if there is therapy happening when people are going through transitions. There is a lot of therapy, years of therapy involved in this to make sure this is really you. And I hope that this is happening for their daughter, but I am going to assume it's not because, well, they wouldn't want to get their kids with a therapist because I'm assuming a therapist would be very alarmed by all the vlogging and oversharing and exploiting of their children. No therapist would be like, okay, and turn a blind eye to that. Well, like, I hope anyway. And I think we just try so many different ways to express ourselves as we're growing to adulthood. And who wants like these childhood lessons that you're going through blasted all over the internet by your mom? It's just like embarrassing. And that's just kind of like my view on family vlogging as a whole. Why does this sort of life lesson stuff have to be up for public consumption? So I decided to look at Jaclyn Jolys' TikTok because I've never looked at it before. I don't really go on TikTok very much. I've said this in a few videos, but I'm trying to get into it more because I know a lot of stuff goes down on TikTok. Honestly, it was kind of overwhelming how much content is more about their daughter Edie than anything else. There are other posts of their kids and occasionally some posts of Jaclyn, one we're gonna show in a little bit, but the majority of them are the children, Edie specifically. And it also includes a lot of clapbacks at people who are saying Jaclyn is forcing this on Edie. And these clapbacks are coming from Edie. So in my opinion, it looks like Edie is coached through some of this stuff and either A, doesn't really have a full grasp of like what they're saying and what they're responding to, or B, they do have a full grasp of what they're responding to and what's being said. And some of this stuff is probably really hateful. As a child, you shouldn't be hearing negative comments about yourself. And like, anyway, I don't feel like you should be hearing negative comments about your family, anything like that. So I feel like that's not very conducive to a healthy mental space. Like I said, it was very overwhelming looking at Jaclyn's TikTok and seeing just how much content is the kids. There was a sponsored post that was like a full-blown commercial. Like these kids had to rehearse this stuff. They made their parents breakfast or lunch or something. I don't know. But it was just crazy how much acting went into this and they made a lot of money on it. Honestly, it's disgusting. Especially to me because they're outing their child on the internet. And Anna, the mother, she says nothing that has to do with Edie's transition is monetized, but that does not mean that you do not make money off of it because it pulls people in to watch your other videos, watch your TikToks, go to your Instagram. You make money off of these things. I think Instagram just started like membership things now too for some influencers where people can pay to look at like special posts and stuff like that. And they have sponsors for content, and these do sometimes include their daughter and all of their children. So they've been getting backlash for pretty much all of that stuff that I mentioned. And by they, I mean the parents. The children should not be getting any backlash at all. They're just children. So if you were saying anything to any of their children, especially if it is something transphobic to one of their children, well, you are garbage. They continued to get backlash because then people started digging more to see what is actually going on with Saccone Jolys. People dug up a couple clips of how they punish their children. Now, when children misbehave, they sometimes have to be punished because they have to learn the lesson. And that usually means like maybe you're being sent to your room, a cell phone or an iPad or a gaming console is taken away. You don't get to watch your favorite show. The important thing is it's something that is big to the child, but not traumatizing. And it was brought to light that the Saccone Jolys as punishment, which they did call a last-ditch effort, but I know plenty of parents and I had a parent and I was probably a horrible child at some point, but my mom never reached this last ditch effort, and it is to give their children cold showers.
How did she react anyway? Was it horrible? Daddy has to do the discipline bit because I literally can't do it. It sounds really cruel. And when I say it, I'm sure people are gonna say it's cruel, but this is like has been going on for a while, so it's kind of our last resort, but
Such a fun idea, guys. Are you ready for this? Yeah. Let's go upstairs and have a shower.
No, Mommy said we're having a bath.
Oh, you can have a bath.
You put her arms in.
Yeah.
Sometimes she is a bit naughty.
Is she? Yeah, sometimes the kids are a bit naughty. What do you do with naughty kids?
I put them in my cold showers that I like.
You put them in cold showers?
And
come on, upstairs with Erica, quickly. Quickly.
I want a bath.
I know, but it's a bit too late.
Are we having a warm shower or bath?
Warm shower.
This is physical punishment on their children. They're young children. Their kids are not very old. I would consider this behavior. It's possibly physically harmful to their bodies. They're small children. Cold showers can be extremely shocking to the system. I mean, I would worry about like their tiny little hearts, their tiny little bodies. There are several clips on a TikTok called rose tinted _ over time with threatening the kids or telling the kids or the kids saying cold baths or cold showers are punishment. Your kids come into the world completely trusting you. You are responsible for every one of their needs and desires. You are responsible for helping shape them into amazing, trustworthy, honest, hopefully, I hope this is what people are raising their kids, you know, to be these awesome people that you feel great about pushing out into the world and doing amazing, wonderful things. But this is how the Saccone Jolys choose to punish their children, is by putting them in cold showers. Recently, Anna went on her Instagram, by recently I mean within the past 2 weeks, and she addressed well, in terms of some of the terrible comments I have seen on the internet, I thought it was kind of a polite comment, expressing their concern over how Edie's transition and journey is being exploited, and how they've reached out several times and they are either deleted, this is their last try. And Anna completely missed the mark. She missed this person's entire point and completely deflected from everything this person said. This is where she said, we do not monetize any content that is about Edie's journey. Whereas, like I said, just because specific videos about Edie's journey are not monetized does not mean it does not financially benefit the entire channel. And Anna tries to make a point that there are child actors in the world. What her kids do is no different. No. There is a total difference between what is happening with child actors and what is happening with your children. First of all, child actors have, well, at least in some states, they have some sort of financial protection. It actually varies widely from state to state in the United States. And then, of course, you have all these international laws as well. However, there are no real laws that truly protect child actors, but there's kind of agreed upon things, and a lot of movies come from Hollywood. This is a whole rabbit hole that we don't need to go down. I think I've talked about this in a video before. Anyway, there is some sort of protection with child actors. Child actors are not being themselves when they're in a commercial. If Burger King hires them to be in a commercial, they give them a one-liner and a burger to bite into, and that kid might be spending the day doing that over and over again in different ways. But at the end of the day, what happens? That kid clocks out, they get a paycheck, they go on their way. They're not portraying themselves long-term to Burger King's audience, so Burger King will sell more burgers. However, when it comes to family vloggers, these people are exploiting their children's entire life. It's completely different because also when it's your entire life, you don't get to clock out. Now, there might be similarities between reality TV show kids and kids in family vlogger situations, and that actually comes because there's a lot of laxity that goes on with regulation and stuff when it comes to reality TV. So that is something that I will be diving into more, but yeah, I feel like I did do a video kind of diving into some of this stuff. Anyway, it just really grinds my gears when family vloggers say, I'm not exploiting my kids, they're like child actors. No, they're not. I mean, there was a whole, this was a whole long Instagram rant, and I don't want to go into completely. YouTuber Headlines actually did a really good breakdown. I will link that and maybe a couple other videos down below that I can think of. So she missed the entire point and she deflected and then basically gatekeeped being a parent of a trans person when this person said that they actually are also the parent of a trans person or have somebody very close to them in their family who is trans too. So they were speaking from experience when they were trying to contact Jonathan and Anna. Like I said, YouTuber Headlines made a video about this. A lot of people made videos about this Instagram rant and criticized her for reacting to this person this way when actually this person was just trying to like open their eyes a little bit of like, hey, you're exploiting this when like this and this are happening. So because of all the uproar, the Saccone Jolys, they could not take the heat anymore and they deleted their YouTube channel. They deleted their videos anyway. I'm assuming that they privated them rather than deleting them because they would still want that revenue to kind of come in. And when I looked at some of their old community posts, the video said they were not publicly available anymore, which means they're still there, they're just privated. But if I am wrong, let me know. But I would think if it was deleted, it would say this video is no longer available. So Jonathan made a post on their Instagram or TikTok. I don't know. They're almost like the same friggin' site to me now. But they made a post somewhere about how YouTube is no longer for them.
So I've deleted all of my YouTube videos that I spent the last 14 years making. Let me explain why. Just because everybody tells you at one point in time that what you're doing is right doesn't necessarily mean that that will always be right. I don't know if making YouTube videos was the right or wrong thing to do, but I did it. I developed a lot of mental health problems during the time of doing YouTube because I felt this huge pressure to keep going. No matter what was going on in my life, I had to keep going. I kept saying when I was under press stuff and they'd ask me and I'd say, I wouldn't do YouTube today. I wouldn't do YouTube today the same way I did YouTube when I did YouTube. I wouldn't do a family vlog anymore. And that's when I started to sort of stop making YouTube videos, which brings us to today. If you're a parent and you have children, you know how socially aware your children are. And that's when I started thinking, maybe it's time to not only, stop doing it, but also to sort of erase it. I love my children more than I love my YouTube videos. I just want to give them an opportunity to curate their own life story on the internet.
So they have privated, deleted, whatever, all of their videos. I have a feeling they will be back because they have disappeared before. They left their videos up that time, like a few months ago, but they also kept their memberships going and kept charging people and they weren't getting content. Currently, their memberships are still up. You can still join their membership. Jonathan also said in their little video that they and Anna are going to be starting a podcast, and I just thought, who is going to listen to that? Who do they think wants to hear what these two have to say? I mean, other than like people like me who are just listening to be critical of anything that they say problematic, but like family vloggers' audiences are mostly children, and children do not listen to podcasts. I mean, I don't think anyway. I feel like if I asked my 11-year-old niece or my 15-year-old nephew what their favorite podcasts were, they would probably look at me like I was crazy. My niece might even ask me what is a podcast. So I want to believe that they privated everything to protect their children's privacy, all their children's privacy, but I don't believe that's the case because, like I said, the membership are still up and they still are active on other platforms, on TikTok and Instagram. I mean, other mommy vloggers are making like whole separate like websites to upload their videos, so it's also possible that maybe they'll come out with that in a couple weeks or months too. I don't know. They still heavily feature their kids on their other platforms, so this is still happening. It's just not happening on YouTube. There is so much cat hair flying around me. Oh my God. Anyway, that is it for today's video, you guys. Holy crap. If you have not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Laters. Bye.